So we moved yesterday. So we got a piece of time for freezer. So it's probably and it's probably so you were hanging out with us. Good for you too.
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah.
I had business partners that just went over there.
I hope so. We could get away.
Just rank like top 10.
This is for a chip project.
All of the guys in college were standing outside.
A lot of a project that added 300 million to the valuation of town. Look at all like $1 million deals. This is for everybody in Douglas County.
Yeah, I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
I didn't know they do 10 foot. I thought it was more
It was
SI.
in the valley in one of the lakes.
Morning.
A lot.
Is that blue water or bottom water? Yeah. Wayne does a lot of SIEs in power. So I'm pretty sure that was Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what a great asset to the community.
He just made it.
Oh,
It's top of the hill. Not that many, not that many kids in the school system.
Yeah, but tax basis definitely help. We've been out to blue water several times.
People were either
Amber was paying 5 figures in taxes, so I wouldn't be that upset.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you take a look at the consolidated levy there, I think it's dropped 10 basis points since it started.
it was fun.
When we started,
Issues. So it's gonna be nice.
I don't know. Yeah, we looked up there about 3 years ago. So we don't have. Yeah, blue water, Big Sandy, another one.
I was I was kind of confused by the time all the emails were done. It's like, so what are we doing?
I'm trying to hold consistent.
Need to ask you.
Good. You're okay with we'll just have somebody on number 6, just have somebody make a motion to table. We'll do that. 1 second. I was telling John and Judy, we've started to have some tax payments come in on these micro projects. Last year, the legislature just stepped out. Process. Cities and islands. It's and then the statute allows the city to charge no more than $50 college. So much stuff.
It is 9 o'clock, so we're going to start the meeting off this morning. A current copy of the Open Meetings Act of Nebraska is located on the back wall of the council chambers. First item, call to order, roll call.
Wilkie,
Yes, here.
Rosca,
Present.
Lucas,
Yes.
Cubby, Mendenhall.
Here.
Okay, next item is the minutes in your packet. Review those of July 25th, 24. Any additions or corrections to those minutes? Okay, I need a motion.
I would make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Wilkie,
Yes?
Rosca,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Mendenhall.
Yes.
Okay. Next action item is review redevelopment contract for Midwest Land Development, LLC, redevelopment plan amendment 1. So Mr. Bacon, I'm going to call on you first to maybe give us an overview first, please.
Mr. Chairman and members, you have in front of you a draft of a redevelopment contract that provides tax increment financing for Midwest Land Development and hundreds of doors for residential development, and some commercial and a little industrial. Currently, it's like 6 to 7 phases. And the structure of the redevelopment contract, the major pieces are we're going to have, and Austin can go through this, but essentially you're going to have multifamily residential to the north, infrastructure put in on phase 1, acquisition of right-of-ways across the Blower property to Newberry, acquisition of a right-of-way on Brewer to the west, so you can get Francis Street extended through there. As each phase is developed, the redeveloper will put in the infrastructure, and there's a time limit on when they extend Francis Street over to Newberry, which is towards the end of 28. This will, out of the gate, there will be an issuance of up to $15 million in tax increment financing TIF notes. That $15 million will be divided into 3 different chunks based on different sections of the first phase. Their eligible costs in this case are primarily the infrastructure that goes in. However, this project qualifies for workforce housing TIF, which means you can use TIF for something other than site acquisition and infrastructure. You can actually build houses if the cost to construct each one of those houses is $300,000 or less. That's cost to construct, not the dirt. So, and for the multifamily, it's has to be less than, can't be more than $235,000 a door, which seems to be doable in the economy right now. The redevelopment contract has some blanks in it and some revisions. I was still getting data input from the parties late yesterday afternoon, and we got 4 lawyers involved, so that always slows it down. So the redevelopment contract is approved by the passage of the resolution. The resolution provides that we can finish up those details between the parties, and Greg has the authority to fill in the blanks and do some adjustments. So this launches probably the largest housing project that I'm aware of in terms of total doors. I've done 200 before, but this blows through that by a significant margin, so it's a pretty good deal. Other than that, I'll let Austin address this. Greg, you have
One more thing, could you just share with the audience this morning the extreme blight aspect of
yes,
this and
yes,
how
yes.
that for housing?
So, the voters of the state of Nebraska a couple years ago extended the time period from 15 years to 20 years that you can capture TIF in an area that is designated as extremely blighted. This area all qualifies for extremely blighted, and that means that they can obtain TIF for 20 years on portions of the property, not on the commercial and not on the industrial. So those two chunks of dirt, if you will, are limited to a 15-year TIF capture. So the balance, or for the residential, and we'll call it modest price housing, can benefit from the 20-year TIF. So this is about as large a TIF bond project as I've seen recently. It's $36 million. We're just going to make 10 years worth of development to get there. So there, I mean, and that's just repaying all of the infrastructure costs. So it's a pretty big deal. We'll provide for installation of a couple of parks and basically all of the infrastructure. So I'm sorry you got it late last night, but we were still getting input on what goes in there. So, and we will probably need to do a cleanup on a couple of those blanks. So, any other questions? I'll let Austin address you.
Okay.
That works. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Austin, would you just state your name for everybody in the audience so they don't know who you are?
Yeah, Austin Hillis, representing Midwest Land Development. And so, Mr. Chair, authority members, good morning. Thank you for everyone's patience as we've gone through this process. So I can fill in some specifics. I think Mr. Bacon's probably addressed most of everything I would. So specific to Amendment 1, we've brought on a new civil engineering firm. They really improved the density of the project. When we look at how to maximize the site, our boundary lines to our property are finite. So we wanted to make sure if we're going to go in, we have an opportunity to add another 215 additional doors between multifamily and single family like we did. Take advantage of the opportunity. Our study showed North Platte needs over 3,000 homes between for rent and owner occupied by 2028. So we wanted to increase the number of doors. We're just over 800 currently between all different residential types. So that was one of the key changes we made when we were going through this Amendment 1 process. The other key change was instead of utilizing Leota as the thoroughfare for the project, we have since changed that for East Francis. As Mr. Bacon mentioned, we have a large percentage of that road being built. In our phase 1, it'll be completed prior to the end of 2028, as agreed upon with the city council. Otherwise, the plan's very similar to what we proposed before. About, I think, 90% of the overall space is being utilized for housing, and workforce housing specifically. The apartments with our successor developer that we're working with on the rental side, they will be coming to market with market rate rents, and then we're coming in at a $250, $260 sales price on our single family homes.
Any questions for Austin when he's at the mic? Okay, thank you. Anyone else have anything to add when we're considering this here before we go on? Okay. We're going to move on to the next agenda item. We're going to consider the adoption of Resolution 2024-9 providing for the issuance of a tax increment development revenue note, approval of a redevelopment contract, and all other matters for Midwest Land Development LLC redevelopment plan amendment 1.
Mr. Chairman, due to a conflict of interest, I will not participate in any discussion or vote on this issue. Just want to let everybody know that in advance.
Thank you. So noted. All right, discussion. So the maps for this, I think we saw earlier that, it's a higher density, it's a higher lot count. And there's been some changes in the makeup of the park. Austin's been working with the city engineer and the mayor to kind of clarify those so everybody knows expectations for that in a future phase. But I think there's a lot of detail in here that's been vetted and re-vetted to make sure it's detailed enough that everybody understands the expectations on both parties. And so I guess, this is the largest thing we've looked at by far. And, it hasn't been easy. Austin's team has put a lot of work into this, and as well as Mr. Bacon and the city employees to get to this point. If you think about the largest project ever prior to this was the sustainable beef. And this is 15 million larger than that project. And if you think about the amount of infrastructure that has to go into the amount of feet of streets and underground things that go into this project, I mean, it's going to change the dynamic greatly. And so it probably shouldn't be easy. It's such a big project. It probably shouldn't be easy, and it hasn't been. But I think you guys have seen it enough times. But I just think it's a big deal. I think that this will provide opportunities in addition to this builder. They may bring other builders alongside of them to help meet the demand as if they can't fulfill all of it themselves, but they have that option, or they just may ramp up and do it all themselves too. So with the single family. So this many single family lots coming to the market will be really good for opportunity for the community to have new housing built and frankly a price point that you cannot find in town today at that level unless it's a very unique circumstance. There'll be multiple houses in that price point that I think is good for North Platte. So we're going to need a motion on resolution 2024-9.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution 2024-9.
Any discussion? Let's vote.
Wilkie,
Yes?
Lucas,
Yes.
Mendenhall.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll work out the details, and thanks to all of you for the work to get to this point. Next item is number 6, consider the adoption of resolution 2024-10, providing for tax increment development revenue note and other matters for MAD Properties LLC micro-TIF project.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion to chair this item number 6 until such times additional information can be provided.
You want to table it?
A table it. I
Table
mean. Sorry.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Moved and seconded. Let's vote.
Wilkie,
Yes.
Orozco,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Mendenhall.
Yes.
Okay. Any other business this morning? Okay. We're adjourned. There we go. I never used that. I want to start using that.
Do you have 5 minutes? Yeah, sure. I'm going. I gotta go back. I got 2 more trucks in there. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. You've been down to Lincoln a bunch?
Well, when I get a call,
That circus will end. That's trying to work for it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Safe to say, it was
Maybe.
late night and Lordell's. They got a bill on, everything else, right, so was. I've been surprised how many times I go live shot at 6 to Glorious 9. I think, in a week you go